Let's go over the quiz 3 assignment. In question 1, what causes the mother to lash out at her daughter with an angry response? This comes from Kincaid's Girl in answer choice 3, or C, feeling the bread is the best answer. Remember, at the end of the text, the mother responds to the daughter's response when she mentions that she never feels the bread. And the mother responds angrily, of course, are you going to be the type of person that the baker doesn't let near the bread? All right, so continuing on in question 2, in short answer format, what is meant by the quote, "We had an accident"? What text does this quote come from? Who is the author of the text? And explain the significance of the quote via the text. So this quote comes from O'Connor's "A Good Man is Hard to Find." Remember, the children say this after the accident, the horrific accident that turned them over, as the misfit said, once it, if you will. Nevertheless, it was the accident that led to the fateful encounter between that family and the misfit, which had an undesirable outcome. And question 3. In Kawabata's text, the grasshopper symbolizes an ordinary individual, while the bell cricket is someone that is unique. That is true. That is true. In question 4, using the following literary devices in parentheses. Remember, when we're talking about in parentheses, these literary devices, you will not be credited for literary devices that you use that aren't found within these parentheses. In any event, choose the correct 2 literary devices from those found in parentheses and explain how both of them are used in the open boat. So, irony, saying one thing meaning another. The dinghy was one of the ultimate ironies, that in dealing with this catastrophic storm, that they'd be in something that's no bigger than 10 foot. Remember how they'd even describe the dinghy. They even provide personification towards the dinghy and being nothing like a bucking bronco, or rather a simile, using a metaphor like or as. Nevertheless, the dinghy provides an ironic stance in this text. Foreshadow, visions of people on shore by Mosquito Inlet's one example. But remember when they looked and they could see people, or they thought that they saw people there, it was more of a mirage, if you will. But ultimately that foreshadowed that they would be seeing people on the beach, and ultimately it would lead to them getting to the beach, being saved, with of course that of the oiler not being so fortunate. Personification. We see personification in giving human-like qualities to inanimate objects. The water was cold. Well, literally, the water was cold. Figuratively, the water cared not for them. The water was totally indifferent to them. The ultimate in man versus nature. So in continuing on, and given that I only have 5 minutes for this video, interpret and explain the following quote. The artifact was no longer in his pocket. The author of the text from whence this quote comes from is Rushdie. The text is the prophet's hair. And remember, it was Ada when he lost the relic because there was a hole in his pocket as he tried to bring the artifact back once his father left. All right, in number 6, biography question. Who am I and what have I written? It's Hurston, and it's her text, How It Feels to Be Colored Me. She wasn't born in Edenville, Florida, but she lived the majority of her child-rearing years there. And number 7, what did the girl with the head of a sad maiden do to be in her current altered state? She disobeyed her parents. And number 8, lanterns from Kawabata's The Grasshopper and the Bell Cricket. Figuratively, it's the unique representation of the children. And number 9, what causes Montressa to seek revenge against Fortunato? C is your best answer. Number 3, insults. Remember, look at the first line of the text. And number 10, both foreshadowing and irony provide the best possible literary devices in A Rose for Emily. All right? Menacing desire is no literary device. You see it all throughout. Use this quiz information for your advantage for the next quiz, quiz 4, which will be up today, and even more. Perform well. I know you can. Thank you all, and again, look forward for quiz number 4. Do take care.